Welcome everyone to my office. This is going live this Sunday.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas everyone. We are doing a little video today. We're doing some content to round up the year and we thought it would be quite fun to do. Don't start business until you listen to what I'm about to say. This year has been absolutely crazy for Odd Muse. Insane, like 5 times our year last year, and it's been really difficult to facilitate that growth. So there's quite a lot of things I wish I knew earlier this year or late last year to prepare me for this year. And I think I'm just going to go into it now. If you want to start a brand, one thing I didn't do when I started Odd Muse was plan in terms of like long term. So I really believe you should have a 5-year long plan. And that's what I'm really trying to challenge myself to do at Odd Muse, because this time last year when people would ask me that, and believe me, as you grow, a lot of people ask that and they're shocked when you don't have an answer. I still don't have that answer, and this time last year I would very much be like, no, like I've not got a 5-year plan, I really don't need one, like there's no point in me doing one because the brand's done this year, who knows what it can do next year. And that was the truth, like I didn't know any of this was going to happen, but had I have at least suspected half of it, I might have been a little bit more prepared from like an operational side of view. Like you tell yourself you want loads of orders, but make sure you've got people to pack them and make sure you've got people to answer their emails, and just the general service around it is something that is like the biggest thing for me next year. Like we're holding back on a lot of things that we would like to do in terms of events and stuff to really focus on customers in the first quarter of next year. That's something I definitely wish I knew, like planning, plan worst case, plan best case, plan 1 million orders, plan 1,000 orders. Another reason why planning even short term is really important is because it's the classic line, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. And don't get me wrong, Odd Muse work very well on last minute chaos, but sometimes it doesn't work and it's a bit risky to sort of like live like that. And I'm trying to not do that next year. The only thing I want to be like so reactive and last minute on is TikTok, because you have to be, and that's the only thing in Odd Muse that has proven to be successful so last minute, whereas everything else does need to be like very forward plan, even like in terms of like Instagram and stuff, to like even know like maybe a topic of what you want to post and stuff. And also it can cover you as a brand owner. You are 100% going to be affected by a number of different things in your business, whether it's returns are high one day, or there's an issue with your staff, or there's an issue with production. There's going to be so many issues that really knock you off your creativity. You do not have the luxury of just having one job. So therefore you need to be as prepared as possible in terms of your creativity. So in my case, I need to know like all my products are designed, and I need to know all my social content is as organised as it can be, because when I'm in stages of just like complete creative block, I have nothing to give, and that's a problem for the brand. So yeah, that was number 2. Like I said, I wish I knew the sort of order volumes and like we was going to see, and that's like the main thing that's come up the most. You know, our product is such high quality, and like from its core is so genuine, so it's just a shame that our customer service as of recent, literally like the last 2 weeks following Black Friday, has sort of failed in that department, because it just doesn't make sense for the brand. But I mean, this Aimee last year would have been like crying in her car. This year I'm just like, I know what we need to do, I just need a little bit of time to find the right people and stuff. So I'm quite confident, and yeah. But yeah, I wish I would have known that. It's where we were just like, wow, like there's so many crazy moments. Like Resort this year was like 10,000 people signed up for that collection. Even the split sleeve we launched last week, we sold like 1,000 in a day. You know, you got to welcome the chaos a little bit, but be a little bit more equipped. One thing that I think people don't know, that I've always known, is don't be afraid to spend money. Like, you've got to spend money to make money. there's so many risks we take in Odd Muse, and 100% it is the reason why we've grown the way we have, because I am such a risk taker. Like, were we the brand to do a runway show? Not necessarily, but we will do something like that again. All the things we've done, like even so much as like taking your content so seriously, getting on a plane to New York and you know, spending a good amount of budget on a shoot, that is so important. And even from like ads and stuff like that, you have to invest in your marketing, and I feel like that is something I don't see in women in business enough. Like, there's a lot of fear around investment, and it's actually just a reality. It's the fear of losing money, but you've got to be in it to win it, and you've got to spend money to make money.
It's a risky business.
Yeah. That's something I did know going into this, but I went a bit crazy. I definitely went a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Like, in the first year, there was a lot of times I was getting phone calls for big bills that I didn't know I'd signed myself up for. So yeah, but it's all a learning curve. Save a long time to start Odd Muse. Like, it does take a lot of money to start a brand. Don't go in half-hearted. That's another thing I would say. There's so many brands nowadays that you have to compete with, and I knew that even 3 years ago. Now it's even a whole other story. Like, there's so many brands. So, you know, start your brand knowing your next year's worth of product. Make sure that newness is always there. Even from a social content point of view, we couldn't have like no launches for like 2-3 months because our customers would be too bored on our Instagram. Like, they need to see newness. And it doesn't have to be like Pretty Little Thing, 100 things every single day.
That's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. We do about 4 solid collections a year, and then have like little single product launches. And it has just created such an excitement this year on socials, and it's something that we'll 100% carry into next year. So don't launch a brand with one product or just one collection. I did that originally, and it took me like 1.5 years to really get into a good place with product, because I was constantly just trying to design something really quickly and the product wasn't good enough. This is just a rambler.
And then we'll find
maybe if you want to put more comments in, like questions in the comments.
Yeah.
So I feel like everyone's concerns is so different. Like, when I first started the brand, there was so many random questions I had that you just couldn't Google. Phone to Connor Walker, like, hey girl, really random question.
Yeah.
Do you know this?
I think that's a hard thing.
Updated Q&A.
Yeah, for what you saying, like when we did the runway, you said something like, well, I couldn't just call someone up and be like, but how'd you do this? Because no one like knew.
Exactly.
No one's been through the same thing as you, that you know.
And that's also why there's always like stubbornness when people try and tell me it's going to be okay, because it's like, guys,
you just don't know. Yeah.
You don't know, I don't know, we all don't know.
But that is why, like, you can rely on Aimee to help you out. Planning long term, 5-year plan, make sure you have that. Make sure you're planning short term when there's like creative blocks. Make sure your customer's always first, like customer service is a huge part of a brand. Spend money, make money.
I would also really put a lot of time into it. Maybe not so much at the beginning, but when you first start hiring, I would definitely put a lot of time into what organisational structures look like in other brands and other businesses, and all. I mean, that's something that I've been doing a lot lately, as we sort of like hire for next year, and like everyone's roles have got to be a little bit more like on a just, so they've got set steps and just a bit more regimented. And I have had to sit there on LinkedIn countless times looking at different people in different brands, looking at their career path on LinkedIn and really finding out like what titles come first, what their sort of development would look like, because that's something I've struggled with as of recent, and I really wish I would have known more answers to more questions in that region, because I'm obviously like the CEO of this company, and there's a lot I don't know. So I think in terms of giving people, when you hire, like really clear progression of how they can move on to the next step, and you know how they can develop in the company is really, really important. So having the knowledge of that is really important, but also like that also can help into your like 5-year plan. Like, I'll be hiring a merchandiser, like all these things. Like next year I want to know exactly who I'm hiring and when. So yeah, I think understanding organisational structures of like who you need in the company is really important, and you don't think of that at the beginning.
Well, because you don't think it'll grow that much.
I literally, like, when I first started Odd Muse, I could never have imagined of having, like, how many people are in this office right now? 1 million. Under 50.
Yeah.
There's like 25.
Yeah.
25.
Obviously, you need to plan who you want to hire and stuff, but until you see growth, it doesn't become a reality.
Yeah, and then it just hits you.
And that's why you've got to prepare, guys. This is why you've got to prepare.
Would have liked to have given more advice to someone who's like just starting out. I feel like my current problems are very of a business of like 3 years. But as we said, we will do a little Q&A. So
I think 2024.
Honestly, no question is a silly question. And what else do you want to see from YouTube in 2024? Because I am structuring this company next year, so I am just social media gal.
She is going to be, she's going to take my job.
Yeah.
She is just going to be the content creator.
Yeah, because that's what I enjoy, as well as like designing the product, but that's like my job next year. Yeah. So I really want to like do like crazy stuff on YouTube.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. Jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
When we reach 1 million followers.
Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah, so next year it's going to be crazy for the social media team. So, do it. Yeah, let us know what you want to see, and we hope you found that helpful.
Woo!
And do you want to say thank you and bye?
Bye guys, remember to ask me questions
down below.